In this video, I'm going to take you through the process of setting up of ShareJuice Pro. I assume that ShareJuice Pro is already installed on your blog. If not, please go and watch the installation video. Once you have this installed, you will see something like this. When you click on install plugin page, you'll see the plugin installed, and this deactivate option would be there, and then there would be settings link. So you can go to the configuration of ShareJuice Pro either by clicking on the settings link, or you can go to this top level menu on your left hand side, and from there you can choose any of these links. So let me take you through the process of creating a social button, something like Twitter or a Facebook or a Google Plus button, and let us see how it works on your blog. So once you have installed it, just go to the ShareJuice Pro and go to social buttons. Now a lot of plugins have fixed buttons where it's very easy to configure them, and they will just appear on your blog. But the problem is that there are not many options provided to uh, configure them. So in the ShareJuice Pro, you get a lot of configuration options and a lot of variety of buttons that you can choose. You can choose a vertical bubble button, for example, in Google Plus, or horizontal bubble Google Plus button. So there are plenty of examples, and that is why you will have to create social buttons for your blog. It's basically very simple stuff. So you go to this social button link, you'll see the screen. There is the header, and then there is the logo, and you will see the version you're working with, so you can always know whether it's the latest version that you've got or not. And then there would be something, there would be two panels. So uh, this panel will be open by default, and you can see that there is a drop down of a lot of buttons. So you can see email, Facebook like, Facebook share, Flighter, Google Plus, and something like that. So you will have to you can choose one of it. For example, I will choose a Twitter, and I will press create. So that will create a button for me, which I can use it in multiple ways. So let me do it for you. Let's say I create, put a button create, okay, and I will give it a name. A name is necessary because I would need to connect some configuration to it, and every button that you create can have separate configuration, and that is the beauty of ShareJuice Pro. So I will say, I will name it Twitter underscore, let's say vertical. So as you can see, there are a lot of helpful hints on the side. You can just go and read these hints, and they will really help you out in determining what kind of what is the meaning of each field out here, and they are very helpful for you to fill the fields. Okay, so once we have given this a name, we can go down. So now where do we want this button to appear? So let's say I want this button to appear in floating bar. I want to appear it in before the content, or I want it to appear after content. And then I can set some order in which the buttons appear. So for example, you have another button and you want to place it at order number 2, you can like do like this, or you can place it number 3 or something like that. Okay, and then when you move on, where should it show? So it can show in on home, in post, or on page, or anywhere else. So I would say, for example, just show it on home post. I'll select this option, and then there are customization options provided by individual sites, and this is where ShareJuice Pro is different from a lot of social media plugins out there. You can really customize your options here. So you can add for via, I will use my own ID blog AKS, and then you can add this information. So if you want some hashtags, you can add a hashtag, for example marketing, then leave the count to be vertical. And if you don't know at any point in time where do you want to go, you can always click on this page, and it will take you to that configuration page, and you can read the information over there and use it right here. And then when you are done with it, you can always save the option. And before we go there, let me show you something else. There's something called as list of existing social buttons and icons. So these are the buttons that I have already created. So if you want a reference, you can always go like this and check it, and come when you are done with it, you can come back to this place. So the reason for showing this is, if you want to check out the normal order, and you want to place something next to it, for example number 2 over here, so you can read this information and make changes here, right here. Okay, so when you are done with it, just press save option. Okay, so it says social media button updated successfully. So go to the social button media screen. So we are done with it, and we if you want to see whether the button was created or not, just click here or here, anywhere. It will take you to the same screen, and just click on this panel, and you see the button has been created. So either you can edit this button or you can delete this button. Uh, Now let us see whether this button appears or on your blog or not. Before that, we just need to make a very small check. Go to the global settings, and normally in this general panel, these these checkboxes will be enabled by default. If they are not, just check them, and make sure that you mark your source button as JS buttons, because you could have a sharing bar of icons too, but here we are going to do JS buttons, so we just mark everything with JS buttons and press save. That's it. And we go to the site. So the site address is this, and let us see if our Twitter buttons appears or not.